my dear students. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you on being chosen in this very special institution. I know that IIMs have a very high bar for excellence, and IIM Udaipur is building a very differentiated MBA program with focus on building transformational leaders. So I'm sure that getting selected to this prestigious institute is already a very important milestone in your life and will shape you in a way which will hopefully redefine the way you engage with society and this country and this world. I think apart from building a world-class campus, which I know is under construction, apart from getting world-class resident faculty and visiting faculty, every institute hopes to get excellent students also. So you are the last link in that chain of excellence. So while I congratulate all of you and you should be proud, I think it also places a great sense of responsibility in each one of you to take this culture of excellence forward in whichever field you go in and with whoever you engage in. Now if I look at the current times, I think we are very lucky to live in very exciting times. I believe this is Asia's century and it's India's decade. So in the 90s, when we were in college, everybody used to talk of America as the land of opportunity. People used to say that people who have nothing, based on merit, they can rise in the US and do really well because it offers equal opportunity. It rewards meritocracy. And a lot of brain drain was happening from India to the US. I see if I look at today's times, I think it's historic that a tea seller can be a prime minister in this country. I see reverse brain drain happening. A lot of people want to come back. I also see renowned thought leaders talking very highly about the future of the Indian economy. CLSA, which is one of the most respected brokerage firms on emerging markets, recently said that India is the most exciting emerging market story in the world. So I think this is a time which is extremely exciting. India is the land of opportunity. And this is the time when you should dream big and take risks. This is not a time to think small. And I think it's IIM Udaipur's mission and dream to help you and enable you to become a leader who can make a great impact on society. I also think if you look at each one of you individually, all of you have an amazing opportunity. मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलूँगा and I apologize if some people don't understand Hindi. For each one of you, I think this is an amazing opportunity. सबसे पहले मनुष्य देह मिला है. So amongst all the species, you are at the top of the food chain. अच्छा परिवार मिला है, भारत में जन्म हुआ है, अच्छे दोस्त मिले हैं, अच्छे गुरुजन मिले हैं, IIM उदयपुर में एडमिशन मिला है. तो आई थिंक आप सब फिजिकली फिट हैं, मेंटली फिट हैं. बहुत ही एक अमेजिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी, ऐसे मौके बार बार नहीं आते. इस समय अगर कोई जुनून हो, जज्बा हो, सपना हो, अच्छा संकल्प हो, तो बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. तो दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन यू शुड रियली pursue your passion and discover yourself and play it full out. I'm sure that in your lifetime, India will be a very powerful country. It will be a very important country in the world, and all of you will have a very important role to play in building the nation and building the society. So go take risks and pursue whatever you want to. Don't let anybody stop you. What I would like to do today, I think we heard some great words of wisdom and inspiring stories from Professor Raghunathan. But I want to share today something that's personal to me and some of the lessons and events which have shaped me in my life and which I think merit reflection and consideration by all of you as you go forward and pursue your passion and discover yourself. The first thing I want to share is that there is no substitute for hard work. Professor Janan Shah shared this in his speech, Professor Raghunathan shared this, but I want to share some personal experience. When I was in my school, हम बोर्ड एग्जाम्स के लिए पढ़ रहे थे, इंजीनियरिंग स्कूल में एडमिशन होने के लिए पढ़ रहे थे. उस टाइम लगता था यार इससे ज़्यादा मेहनत क्या करेंगे, कोई सोशल लाइफ नहीं है, रात दिन काम करना पड़ता है, और आईआईटी के लिए पढ़ो, ये सब करो. एंड उसके बाद वंस यू गॉट इन, यू सेड चलो अब यार थोड़ा रिलैक्स कर सकते हैं. एंड देन यू फाइंड दैट सडनली व्हाट वी डिड इन 1 year in school is compressed into 1 semester. So now you have to do the same thing in half a year. And you're competing with, a more, let's say, capable group of people, if you will. Then I went into IIM. मैंने सोचा चलो IIT से बुरा क्या हो सकता है. वहाँ पे पता चला कि एक सेमेस्टर की जगह एक ट्राइमेस्टर में करना होगा है. So again, the life got compressed and you have to work even harder. Then I said, चलो, what can be? I don't think you can do less than 1 trimester. Then you go into the real world and you find that even now the problems are not defined. You have to first figure out what the problem is, you have to work with people, and then you have to compete with local best, global best, and I think it's hard work which is very, very important. So I was initially in the brick and mortar world. When I started my career, my father told me that we know how to make cement, we don't know how to sell it. We worked in a controlled economy where whatever we produced got sold. So all the focus was on cost reduction. So तुम MBA करके आए हो, जाओ यार, you show me how you can sell cement. So I had to shift to our plant in Tamil Nadu. I was recently married at that time, and I asked my wife that, you thought you're going to live in Delhi, but the reality is you have to live in a place near Trichy, and it's a place 60 kilometers away from Trichy in a village. Are you up to it? So it was an arranged marriage. She was quite, I think, empathetic and understanding, and she said, we'll get some more time together, so we can shift there. And वहाँ पे बहुत काम करना पड़ा, काफी मेहनत करनी पड़ी. 60-year-old institution, understanding people older than you. People thought that they have to teach you a lot, which is true, but they also thought that they didn't want to learn too much from a young guy. So I think it's a lot of hard work, not just intellectually, but also emotionally when you go into the real world. After that, I quit my family business and I started a .com company with a friend of mine. And there it was like double shifts. So after we used to work and then we used to go back after dinner and then again work till 2-3 a.m. And I remember that when I was building this .com company along with my friend and our team, we got a chance to see a lot of organizations very closely. One thing which stood out is that companies which were going places had a lot of energy in them and people were working hard. That's a pattern I saw across sectors, and I think there is no substitute to hard work. The second thing that I would share is that truth is extremely powerful. It requires courage to confront it. It requires being vulnerable to face it at times, but it is something which gives you a lot of power. And I'll share a few incidents that happened with me. One is, When I was young, I was I think about 10-12 years old. उस टाइम बड़ा डिसिप्लिन हुआ करता था कि ये पढ़ने का टाइम है, ये खेलने का टाइम है, ये खाने का टाइम है, एक्सेट्रा। तो एक बार वो पढ़ने का टाइम था, माय मदर वाज बिजी समवेयर, तो मैं चुपचाप, मेरे कुछ कजन्स खेल रहे थे बाहर, मेरा भी बहुत मन कर रहा था, मैं खेलने चला गया। आई थॉट माय मदर इज इनसाइड, उनको पता नहीं चलेगा। वापस आया तो माय मदर आस्क्ड मी कि वेयर वर यू, तो आई टोल्ड हर कि मैं तो यहाँ पढ़ रहा था, आप थे नहीं, आपने शायद देखा नहीं होगा। एंड शी न्यू आई वाज प्लेइंग बिकॉज़ शी कुड सी मी, आई मीन आई डिडंट सी हर बट शी कुड सी मी। She was very angry. She took me to the bathroom. She pulled my tongue out and she washed it with a soap. She says, I can't believe that you are lying to me. And if you lie, I would feel just totally failed as a mother, and I'm so distraught because you will fail in life. Not just I have failed, you will fail. So I think it left a very deep impression on me. And I remember that one incident which happened when we were close to bankruptcy in our dot-com company. This was somewhere in 2000. Nasdaq had melted. Everybody had to change their focus from building eyeballs and building the brand and building hits on the website to creating cash flow. And we had to really cut our costs. So we had a customer services department and we had no customers. So we basically had to fire all the people in the customer services department. And we were a job site, so we were basically doing exit interviews and figuring out, what we could do better. We were of course trying to outplace everyone and saying that we will, distribute your resumes to our clients, and we'll give you more visibility on the website. So all that was taken care of. But I remember there was this girl from Northeast India. She was from Assam. She was sitting in my cabin. And I was doing an exit interview and she started crying. And I told her, look, don't worry, we'll make sure that you get a good job. Instead of 3 months notice, you can take 6 months notice. So she calmed down a little bit. And she said that, I live in Delhi, I share a room with 3 people and I have to pay my part of the rent. And I don't know how I will pay my part of the rent. So I'm obviously very disturbed. But now I'm feeling a little more comfortable that, I will not be on the streets. But I want to share something with you, can I say that? I said, yeah, sure, please, this is an exit interview, please be as frank as you can. So she tells me that, sir, I think you should be fired, not me. So I was like, why? So she said, because you have taken all the decisions which have brought us to this stage. Why should I be penalized? Because I have not taken any decision which has created this outcome. So I think if you ask me, the truth is that you should be fired. And I thought, of course, I felt bad at that time. I was quiet, I was listening. But I went home that night and I reflected on it. And I thought there was a lot of truth in what she was saying. So I spoke. Of course, I decided that till we become profitable, I will not take any salary from the company from that day onwards. But I spoke to my founder, my co-founder, our top team one-on-one, and I told them कि यार ये हुआ है. We also need to take some pain. And some people, and it's voluntary. I don't want to put pressure on anybody because if we discuss in a group, it will put pressure. But voluntarily, if you feel, तो देख लो यार अगर थोड़ा कर सकते हैं तो एक अच्छा रहेगा. I won't believe it. People had joined us from Nestle, Duke Software, Pepsi. At that time, dot-coms could attract a lot of talent. All the people in the top team took a cut between 15 and 40%. After that, we said that this is just a temporary cut. The moment we become profitable, we will give all the money back with interest. And it's amazing, we became profitable in 12 months, in 8 months, even though our target was 12 months. There was so much commitment. And that day we distributed checks to each person. We started it, we put glitter on the checks, we distributed it to all the people saying, thank you very much, now we're profitable, we can afford it. And I can't believe what happened that day. All the people had tears in their eyes and they said, we are not going to encash this check, we are going to frame it and keep it. This is our contribution to building the company. So I just saw that truth might be difficult to confront. Our ego comes in the way at times. Our vulnerability comes in the way at times. Sometimes our ambition comes in the way. But if you can confront it, if you can face it more often than not, it gives you a lot of power. I'll also share one more incident with you. We used to share our cash flow every month in a town hall meeting because we knew that a lot of people were concerned that we didn't have enough cash to survive. This is again during the dot-com days when we were going through bankruptcy, close to bankruptcy. We had 2 or 3 resignations then. And a lot of people used to say, "Ki hum kyun kar rahe hain? Town hall meeting, 7 offices on audio call, entire Delhi office on, together." I said people should know, what's going on. And if they are a part of building this institution, we must be totally transparent with them. And if there are resignations, it's a self-selection process. People who don't believe in it will not work with us, and that's fine. But people who believe in it will work with us with more commitment and more energy. Otherwise, competition will, spread and magnify the problem. I think it gave us a lot of, strength. And I personally believe, although I can never mathematically correlate it, I personally believe that's the reason why we became profitable in 8 months rather than 12 months. I also want to share an incident about truth that Jack Welch followed. He was playing golf one day with his friend, the CEO of an important GE company. And while he was playing golf, he saw that this guy placed the marker a little bit ahead of where it should have been placed during the game. And after the game was over, Jack Welch fired him. And he said, "Why are you firing me, Jack?" Jack said that, "Look, the stakes are so low in this game. There's no stakes. We're just playing. If in this game you can cheat, I just cannot even imagine what you would do if the stakes are high. I just have no faith and I don't think we can go through there." So, I would say big leaders, people who achieve a lot, pay attention to small things. Pay attention to the fact whether you can confront the truth and be honest in times when it matters. So I think that's the second thing I wanted to share. The third thing I want to share is I think you should not allow anybody to stop you from doing what you want and take risks. I think you must have the courage to try new things. The world is evolving. Many things haven't been tried. New business models are happening. There are new ways in which internet is transforming the world. There are new ways in which urban and rural populations are coming together. There are new ways in which global interactions are happening. Countries are working. I think try what you want to and don't let anybody stop you. I saw an ad from HSBC once, which was so powerful. It said, "The biggest risk of all is taking no risk at all." So actually, if you are taking no risk, it's perhaps the biggest risk in your life because you will become obsolete probably. I'll share another story. There is a friend of mine. He was working at GE and he was not liking what he was doing. So he says, "Yeah, I only make papers. I am on a fast track, but I only make papers. I don't have authority to make any decision. I make MIS to send it to Hong Kong or New York or London, where my bosses sit. And basically, I get a lot of social approval because I'm working in GE. I can claim big company, big brand, and all that. But यार मेरे को मजा नहीं आ रहा है." So he wanted to work in a private equity firm because this is in the late 90s. One private equity firm was just starting, and I introduced him to a guy who I knew. And they clicked and they decided. But he had to take a 40% pay cut. So startup firm, private equity. तो उसने कहा मेरे को बंदा तो बहुत अच्छा लगा, but 40% पे कट लेके मैं कैसे काम करूँगा? अब I said यार मेरे को तो पता नहीं, decision तो you have to make, but you decide what will give you more satisfaction. तो इसे चलो यार देखा जाएगा, मैं कर लेता हूँ. Took that pay cut, joined this private equity firm. I think today he has made more money than most CEOs can make in their lifetime in India. So ठीक है, थोड़ी किस्मत भी है, लक भी है, वो भी चाहिए लाइफ में. But I think taking risk is sometimes worth it. And I think you can fail also when you take risks. And that's not something to be worried about. I would say that, look, failure is a very important part of growing. Actually, failure teaches you more than what prosperity teaches you. It makes you more humble, it makes you more mature, it makes you introspect. And it makes you more self-aware of who you are and what you want to be. So it's not something that we should run away from. When the internet bust was at its peak, there's a guy called John Doerr. He's from Kleiner Perkins in Silicon Valley, one of the most successful tech VC firms. They backed Sun Microsystems, Amazon, Google, etc. So John Doerr said, at the peak of the internet bust, that I think it's very good for the American economy. And he says it is very good for the internet industry also. And I was there at a session which he was speaking in the Silicon Valley. He said, I asked him, John, why did you say this? He said, an entire generation of entrepreneurs have gotten trained in how to handle failure. And I'm sure, I have huge faith in human imagination, human innovation. But I have huge disappointment with human ego. He said a whole generation of entrepreneurs have gotten trained in 5 years to handle their ego and to handle failure. I think they will bounce back and Internet 2.0 will be bigger than Internet 1.0. And that's what's happening. And this is what he said in 2002, 2003, the peak of the bust. So I think failure is a very important part of growing up. Many people in the .com world put it on their resume that I started and failed. So I would say that these are the 3-4 things I wanted to share. Hard work, truth, courage to confront the truth, courage to do what you want to do, try new things, and handling failure and actually experiencing failure even. Finally, I want to say that, look, all of you have great IQ. IQ will qualify you in the world. But you need EQ to win. You need empathy, you need compassion, you need caring. So you need how to relate to people to win in this world. And you need SQ to sustain that win. Which means you need spiritual quotient. So I would say that India is at a crossroads in its history. It will be a very prosperous nation in your and my lifetime. But we have a unique opportunity to build a society which is not just prosperous, but also filled with deep compassion and love. I think that's a unique model which we can offer to the world. This is a relationship-based society. I see people who live in joint families. I see people who tell that I come from this community. I come from the Marwari community. Some people come from the Gujarati community. In the south, it's Chettiar community. So there are community links. There are joint family links. There are village links. लोग पूछते हैं कि आप किस गांव से आते हो? आपका गांव कहाँ पे है? So I think this is a society which still has lot of value in relationships. And I think relationships can only be nurtured with compassion and love. So I would say that I want to just share one story. My mother goes to Vrindavan very often. It's a religious place close to Delhi, about 2 hours away. And I went with her once recently. I saw a beggar, hair frizzy, tattered clothes. मतलब मेरे को लगता है उनको शायद 2 वक्त का खाना भी नहीं मिलता होगा. He had 2 rotis in his hand and he started eating it. And suddenly a dog came and the dog was looking at him like this. And I was so moved. He took 1 roti and gave it to the dog. My friends, this is the real India. There is compassion. There is not compassion for fellow human beings, but for all living creatures. The real India is not in CNBC and Economic Times of Delhi and Bombay. The soul of India is, I think, embodied in what this beggar did. I think this is what our youth have to preserve. We definitely want the discipline, the work ethic, the ambition of the West, but we want the compassion, love and relationships of the East. I think that is what each of us have to endeavor to preserve. As we embrace change, as we go forward in our lives, this is what I think we need to preserve. मैं अंत में एक ही चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ कि मेरे को पूरा विश्वास है आप लोग सब पैसे कमा लेंगे, आप लोग नाम कमा लेंगे, बट जीवन में अल्टीमेट अचीवमेंट पैसे के साथ साथ शांति और सुकून कमाना भी। तो अपने आचार विचार और व्यवहार से आप ऐसे चरित्र और कैरेक्टर का निर्माण करें जिससे कि सब गर्व से कह सकें कि आप IIM उदयपुर के स्टूडेंट हैं और आप इस देश के नागरिक हैं। और मैं यही कामना करता हूँ कि अपने जीवन में आप जो भी करें, चाहे एंटरप्रेन्योर बने, चाहे प्रोफेशनल बने, चाहे किसी सोशल सेक्टर में काम करें, चाहे पब्लिक लाइफ में जाएं, अपने परिवार का, यूनिवर्सिटी का, देश का नाम रोशन करें और गरिमा और प्रतिष्ठा को बढ़ाएं। तो मैं एक बार फिर आप सबको शुभकामना देता हूँ और ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि आप सबको खूब सफलता दें, खूब सद्बुद्धि दें और आप सबका बहुत